What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new edition of Yo, it's the Kicks. It's your man AB. Hope everyone's doing well right now. So let me give me one moment. So it kind of going new right now. So let me go ahead and get everything situated right now. So I'm still here. Give me one moment though. All right, that's better right now. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to get that situated because that was in the back. So technical issues, but hey, we gonna get it right. We gonna get it right. So I'm just making sure, hey, y'all can see me, making sure everything good. All right, that's better. That's better right there. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm gonna go back over here, y'all. Going back over here, having some issues. So we gonna keep it like this. You know what I'm saying? All right, so y'all can see me. All right, that's better now. So let me bring the homie Vic on live real quick. All right. What's up, everyone? What's up, Vic? All right. Let me send you this link, Vic. What's up, everyone? Just getting everything straight right now. All right. What's up, Vic? I just sent you the link, man. So I just sent you the link, dog. So I'm trying something new, man. Trying to stream on YouTube and Instagram Live. So this is the first episode with it, man. So I just DM you the link, Vic. What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new edition of Yo, it's the All right. All right. Welcome, everyone. So I'm happy to be back in the saddle. Apologies for the technical issues. So I'm getting this launch, but happy to be back. A lot of great music been out. A lot of great sneakers as well. I think the last episode I did was last year. Yeah, last year in the summertime. So got a newborn now. Well, he's 10 months old. 10 months. So and I tore my Achilles as well. So that's part of the reason why I had to fall back. I fell back literally. I was leaning back. Um, so had to go through that. Now I'm out of the boot, back walking, but toward the Achilles, trying to be hoop dreams out here, trying to get back in shape and all that good stuff, and that happened. that happened. So that was bad. It was real bad. But I'm back. I'm back now. But yeah, let me tell you about the guest I'm gonna have on today's show. Gonna have my man Vic Spencer. So Vic been on the show before. Vic is one of the illest MCs out right now. He been doing this thing for quite some time. First time I heard Vic, it was back in I want to say maybe 2011, around that time frame. I know it was the first A Kick. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring Vic on. Let me bring him on live right now with us. All right. Give me one moment. All right, Vic, what's good? What's good, Vic?
What's the dilly? What's the
Let me see. Let
dilly?
me see. All right. All right, hold on. Let me get you all right, there we go right now. There we go. Let me I'm making sure. Can you hear me, Vic?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
You
me?
can hear me? All right, hold on real quick. All right. Let me take the AirPods out real quick. Let me take them out, man. Give me one moment. You can't hear me? All right, hold
Yeah,
on.
I can hear you now a little bit.
A little bit. All right, hold on. Let me. Cause all right, say something now.
Yo, 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 yo.
Perfect. All right, perfect, man. Sorry about that, Vic. I was trying something new, dog. Trying something new with the
All
YouTube.
good. You know what I'm saying? We gotta adjust. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta adjust, man. So, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on live right now, dog. Truly appreciate it, man. I know I was telling the people, man, that you've been on the show multiple times, dog. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, man, you like an honorary member, man, of Yo It's the Kicks right now, dog. So
Yeah,
truly
yeah, you
appreciate
already know.
it. So, man, definitely, man, want to talk about last year projects, man. Because going into this interview, Vic, I was like, man, I want to talk about the bigger, being the bigger person sucks, right? That dropped last quarter, right? Dropped in December, if I'm not mistaken, December 13th, right? But I was like, man, Vic dropped so many dope projects, man. I want to talk about, the other joint, Psychological Cheat Sheet 5 with August for 9. Then you dropped the project, man, on Rut Down and Dut Down as well. The homage joint, I would say, man, to Sean Price. The apes that was left behind, if I'm not mistaken, you had a documentary that dropped as well. So I was like, man, I want to talk about those projects as well, dog. So I want to start with, man, the apes that was left behind, right? As many of us that know you, man, and listen to your music for countless of years, you had a one of your idols is Sean Price. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
late great Sean Price, man. And all of that, you had a relationship with him. You did real tracks with him, not made up joints. You know what I'm saying?
No made up joints.
No made up choice, dog. That you mentioned your documentary, man, and he co-signed you, man. Before he passed away, with you, Rim, Rusty Jux, and so many more as well, dog. So, talk about, man, just that project, man, how it came about. You was able to take on that task with dropping this project, man, but also, paying homage to your idol, man, the hip hop legend, man. Talk about just making that album and how that came about.
uh, I started the album like around the time right before Sean Price passed, and it was like once he passed, it was like I didn't put it on the back burner. I just wanted it to be perfect, so I just started like putting one song on the album for like I think it was maybe 6 years. I took 6 years in between that, just putting song by song by song and adding different elements to the album as I go along. And then one day out the blue, I was like, oh, it's ready. I already knew this was really supposed to be like my first Ruck Down album. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I wanted to keep true to how I wanted that to sound, what I wanted to paint out what I thought that would look like and sound like. And that's how it really came about, man. And the artwork by my boy Craig Dyer, he read my mind on how I wanted that to look. And it was a lot of records like back in the days, man. CDs had a lot of records, you know what I'm saying? It had a lot of features. And, when
Yep.
you think about like just the respect and just like the East Coast and me growing up in Midwest and just listening to both coasts, but heavily influenced by the East Coast in some form of fashion, and just having that Sean Price imprint right behind me, and Bernadette and Rim and Anthony Mason and Ella G and them support. It was wonderful, you know what I'm saying? That was a good time, a good opportunity for me to create, and a good way to give back to the family and keep
Yeah.
keep the ties going with the family. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the Sean Price, like the only person I wouldn't mind handing my masters to. Like, here you go,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
love.
yeah,
Love.
it was a beautiful thing to be a part of that, to be able to drop something like that, something special.
Man, and what makes it dope, like you mentioned, right? All the proceeds go to the Price family with Bernadette. And shout out to Bernadette because she been holding the flag down, man, for Sean Price. And not only that, just with Rut Down music, right? It's really amazing, man.
Yeah.
So I love that. Shout out to Rim, Anthony Mace as well. Everyone who
Yes,
played
sir.
in Illa G. And something that you just mentioned, right? And you mentioned this in the documentary, Vic. You were saying like, I wanted to have an East Coast influence, right, but still have my own, Chicago imprint as well, but have that East Coast influence because myself growing up, right, heavily influenced by the East Coast, right, born in Flint, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Moved down to the South, but my siblings, who much older than myself, had a huge influence from both coasts, right? Even in the South as well, but it was mostly East Coast, right? And I remember during that time frame when the Duck Down influence was crazy, right? You had Black Moon, you know what I'm saying, the original Gun Clappers, right? Smith and Weston, Helter Skelter, like it was a moment in time, man. And from listening to this album, it brought me back to that time frame, right? And
Hmm.
that's hard to do.
Hmm.
That's hard to do,
Yeah.
man. And you still kept it original, still kept your Vic Spencer imprint on that, man. And every time when I talk to artists and stuff, and sometimes they say I don't got no pressure, with the next project. But was it any pressure dropping this?
Nah, when you got like Sean Price rooting for you, man, ain't no pressure. Like, you
Yeah,
know
ain't
what I'm
no
saying?
pressure.
It's the
That's
biggest, it's the biggest confidence. The only pressure for me was to be able to just present something that was crazy to Bernadette. Like, that
yeah,
was the biggest pressure right there. Like, once she said she loved it, man, I was like, oh man.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
all.
It was
No,
all good, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt like, being able to have that confidence and that ability and opportunity to create something like that, that was like, oh, you was born for this, you
yeah.
ready for this, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those moments instead of pressure.
Yeah, man, and definitely hearing the tracks, man, it was so cohesive, dog. And going back to what you mentioned in the documentary, man, you were saying like this is like your first real, feel like your first real album, like
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken,
yeah.
right? Why you say that, man? Because you dropped so many other great classics and masterpieces in the past, but you feel like this was like your first like structure, like album and stuff, man. Talk more about that.
Well, you know how, when you with a label, like, that's how I was thinking, even though we wasn't attached to no papers or nothing like that.
Mhm,
It was just like one of the uh pillars of my career, like to be able to have a record under that
mhm.
record label. And
Yeah,
it's like almost a dream come true. So I would definitely say it's like a first album in that light, because it's like with a label. Like, I ain't never think about like labels when I'm dropping my own albums on Old Fart Luggage. That's my label. So I just think about like when I drop stuff like that, that was just albums. But when you partnering with a label that you
mhm.
grew up listening to, it's like, yeah, it's like a humble way of saying, yeah, this my first time in the industry. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get that. I
So
get that. That makes sense. That makes sense,
yeah.
man. You know what? By you saying that, Vic, and I feel like Duck Down kind of like when it comes to the resurgence of lyricism, the resurgence of what we fell in love with in the golden age in the 90s, 2000s and stuff. I feel like Duck Down played a huge importance of that because I remember a moment in time they went through a resurgence independently when Buckshot was doing albums with Knife Wonder, when Smith and
Mm-hmm.
Weston came back, when Sean Price was dropping his solo joints, right? Monkey
Mm-hmm.
Balls, Onion Head, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus
Mm-hmm.
Christ, working with a
Yeah.
Knife Wonder, working with Crisis, working with other people. And at that time, it wasn't a lot of people rapping like that, right?
Yeah.
Just in the culture, specifically just in New York. Then you got the Rock Marciano drop Mossberg, Griselda, and the rest is history. But I feel like to me, Duck Down kind of like laid that footprint down of that resurgence and also showed people,
Mm-hmm.
hey, you can get money and still tour and still live a good life while being independent. So
Absolutely.
I felt like Duck Down played a huge part with that, and Sean Price as well. You know what I'm saying? I felt like during that time, every bar Sean Price was dropping, like you had to listen to it. You had to listen to it,
Yeah.
and so I just
Yeah.
want to
Had us
that makes
hanging
sense.
by the building
Hey,
almost,
hey,
like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it really was, man. So it makes sense what you were saying, Vic. Like sign to that label with everything they've been doing as well, and you being an independent artist as well, and them building an independent mega label. I mean, people be forgetting like they helped broke young MA in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So with Drew
Yeah.
High and so it's really when you think about that, Duck Down is a huge imprint of what's going on right now in the culture.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
he is, man. The Duck Down, just being a part of something like that, monumental. It's historical. It's like, one of those banners in the Raptors in my stadium. You know what I'm saying? That's a huge, accomplishment in my book.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I won't hold that lightly, even though, uh the culture shifted and changed a lot. But, I always looked at that stuff back then as timeless music. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
All of that music, you know what I'm saying? You can go back and enjoy the boot camp compilation, you know what I'm saying? And original Gun Clappers first album. Like you can go back and really enjoy those records in 2025 and still feel the same when you was banging it in
Same,
1995. You know what I'm
the
saying?
same, man. The same. And one thing about Duck Down, man, before I talk about some tracks on that album, man, they embraced everyone. When I think about it, right? When Knife was popping, when Knife really after he did the Beast Threats, and with Lil Brother, they major label album on Leonard, they started working with Knife
Hmm.
extensively. Buckshot,
Yeah,
and Duck Down as a whole. Then they signed, Knife Wonder from the South. They signed Kids in the Hall from the Shot
yeah.
Town,
You know what I'm
and Kids in
saying?
the Hall had a song playing on TRL, driving down the
Yeah,
block. Remember that
yeah.
vividly that on the countdown. It was like number 6.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
signing Sky Zoo, signing Torre, signing Black Milk from Detroit, right?
yeah.
So they were signing. If you was talented, don't matter where you was from, and just going back to you being from the Shy, they was going to connect and rock with you, and that speaks volumes, man. That speaks
Yeah, and
volumes
that's
right there.
crazy
So
because
yeah,
Knowledge from Kids in the Hall, he was one of the people that like, man, you know what I'm saying? They'll understand you over there. Like he called it way back in like oh 06, oh
yeah,
07. Like he called that. He's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Sean Price get a load of your music, man, it's over. Like he was one of
over.
the people that was saying that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for it to unfold like that, he was right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shouts to Knowledge, man.
Shout out to
Just
knowledge, man.
chopped it up with my homie.
Yo, Knowledge Man was one of the first guests on Yo's the Kicks, man. Knowledge is definitely, man, I think very underrated, man. Far as what's going on right now, man, when it comes to lyricists, when it comes to cats like that, Knowledge was huge. Had to deal with Reebok, him and Double O. Like they were doing some powerful stuff independently, man. So shout to Knowledge, shout to Double O as well, man. Kids in the Hall. Definitely, man. When the album first dropped, Vic, so I was out, right? So I couldn't wait to hit 12 o'clock Central Time, right? So when it hit 12 o'clock Central Time, dog, actually it was 11 o'clock Central Time because it drops because
Yeah,
goes by Eastern. So 11 o'clock Central
exactly.
Time. I couldn't wait for it to drop, right? So I was out and about, right, Vic. I had to drop off my wife's one of her closest friends. She stayed over here for that week, right? So I dropped her off so she could catch her ride back to Kansas, right? So she was flying back. She was flying back to Kansas City. So I was like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
After I dropped her and our daughter off, I was like, all right, I could really do the car test. You know what I'm saying? It's late night,
That's
no one on the road. You feel me? So I threw it in, bro. And the track, man, that I was hitting rewind on, bro, and playing over and over. I reached out to you about it, man. It's called Damaged Rape. I don't know if you remember, man, but I hit
yeah, I
it.
remember.
And
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
remember.
oh, yo, when that beat came in and with Rottenness as well, man, like he was perfect for that beat, dog. But you were just attacking it, man. And like, bro, like going in, bro. It's probably one of my favorite bars from you, like I ever heard, dog. And you said one line, man. I mentioned this to you too, dog. You was like, you know what I want to come true is all of my mama wishes. My mama getting old, about to plan doctor visits. Like that was crazy, dog.
Yeah,
Cause
crazy,
it gets real, man.
crazy.
Like you don't think
Yeah,
about that, but like it was going on at that time, and with my mom's right when that album dropped, man. It's like, damn, the doctor visits, stuff. So man, talk more about that, bro, because dropping that, man, was that hit me right there, dog. So that
hmm
particular bar, man.
yeah. Man. Damage Rafe was, again, a track that I had got like down the line, like maybe I would say like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I got that beat from Solomon Sounds, and
It
you
sounds.
know what I'm saying? And I sat on it for a while and I was like, you know what, man, I'm about to record it. And I know this is going on the Ruck Down album. I already knew that I was going to do it for that. But then, while I was writing it, it was just like, I don't know, I isolate myself and I guess get to thinking about everything, you know what I'm saying? And like reality stuff, a lot of different reality. So, my mom at the time while I was writing it was having some medical issues and stuff like that. It was like a scarce. So that's why I was talking about like, you want to know what I want to come true? All of my mama's wishes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's I ain't never heard nobody say it like that, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So it was just like me attacking it in a different way, like you know what I'm saying? I wanted that to pierce the skin. That's like a damaged race, like you know what I'm saying? When E Honda punching the car on Street Fighter,
yeah.
like that's the pain, you know what I'm saying?
That's
And
the
that beat was just, ugh.
being was
Then Rockness Monster got on it, like you know what I'm saying? Like right at the clutch time, like you know what I'm saying? Like he welcomed the open arms, man. So shout out to Rockness
shout
Monster,
out to
man. Like
Rockets Monster, man.
growing up having growing up listening to Helter Skelter and then having both of the brothers like real songs that I recorded with them, like you know what I'm saying? That is just like one of the biggest accomplishments ever, man. So
Yeah,
yeah, man.
it
Shout
really
out
is.
for you recognizing that damaged race, man. That's a sleeper
Damage
on there.
Damage Rafe is crazy, man. And just the whole album as a whole, bro, it's really dope, man. Like I mentioned earlier, man, it's cohesive. The bars is hidden, dog. The beats is hidden too, man. Like every track is a dope track on there. It's like it's no filler on there. Some joints you might have a filler, but it doesn't, man. It brings you back to the essence. Like what Knowledge mentioned, man. You was a match made for Duck Down. Like that project really was, man. And I know, man, the late great Sean Price was loving it, man. You know what I'm saying? The Heavenly Clouds, dog. So I love that project. So I
Wow.
definitely want to talk about that. Talk about that particular joint Damage Rafe, man, and the album as a whole. So make sure people go and get that album, The Ace That Was Left Behind. Check it out on your streaming platforms, all of that, man. So that's a really dope album, right? So that's the first classic joint you put out, right? The second one, Psychological Cheat Sheet 5, right? And with this series that you created, Vic, one
hmm
thing that stands out, you talk about the group home. You talk about your past in the group home, but you do it in a way, Vic, where it's not depressing. It's not
Yeah,
stressful. You do it in a dope way where it's still lyrically inclined and also where it's dope production. Like it's soulful. The sonnets, you in August for Nine, man. And August for
yeah.
Nine, that's the first time I heard about August for Nine through that series, man. So
Mm.
talk about, man, your process of making Psychological Cheat Sheet 5 and just the series overall. Did you expect it to go keep going like this? Or when you in August, when y'all, locked in, was it just going to be like a one project that was it? Then it just kept going and going.
I mean, August for Nine is a machine, man. He'll send you like a zillion beats. Like he'll send you a zillion beats at once. And while I'm picking through all the beats and picking everything that I like and all of that and saving all of the beats that I like, it just accumulated to a lot of beats. And I was like, man, we just gonna make a lot of albums, And 14 Day Notice is one of those things that's in like growing when I was growing up in group homes. If you go AWOL, it was like same thing as the army. Like if you leave, run away, you got 14 days to return, or you like automatically discharge yourself or something like that. So um I want to make like 14 albums in that sense. So, we just finished up Par Six that's coming out this year. One year or maybe 2 years, I'll take the whole year and drop psychological cheat sheets. You know what I'm saying? I got enough beats and enough rhymes. Like I already know that these rhymes are going to be different from any of the other albums that I may drop in that year. You know what I'm saying? So all of those rhymes is just going into one place, and that's why it keeps coming. Like he's a machine, and then
Yeah,
and then turns me into a machine. So it's like, yeah, we locked in, super locked in. The chemistry is crazy, and
it's crazy.
I don't think that I can never stop talking about like my history of being in the group home and representing that. I don't see it stopping no time soon. So as long as I got the will to want to do that, that's just gonna sit aligned with what I want to do as an artist, as a rapper. I want to be able to rap my ass off, and I also want to be able to, talk about things like this and mental illness awareness and stuff like that. I want to be able to talk about vulnerability and speaking your feelings, but then I don't want to do it in like a preachy way. I want to do it in a relatable way. I want to do it in a way where people that's living in group homes now can understand. The young shorties can adapt, and people that grew up in it with me can look back and be like, this is the time stamp. How we was coming up, and look where we at now. That's
Mhm.
important. You know what I'm saying? To be able to go back to those time stamps and relive those moments. So I always look at psychological cheat sheet as something very personal, and being able to share that with people in the world. I know that that's helping somebody. It definitely helped me. It's always been like my therapy to talk about that. I used to have it like scattered all around on different albums before I started doing the psychological cheat sheets. And well, August for Nine also grew up in group homes. So
Wow.
when I found out that, it was like, oh man, it's like a match made in heaven. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's a beautiful thing that I'm able to have that as a landmine to talk about like all of that in one place.
Man, I love that, man, because that's real, dog. For real, man, that's going on. I think people don't really understand that aspect, like the group
Yeah,
home, shelters, all that, man. It's a
yeah,
huge number of black kids in that. You know what I'm saying? In the
yeah.
system, dog. And once you get in the system, man, it's tough. It really is, man. So for you really talking about, man, just your past and also bringing that to light is helping other people too, man. So I'm definitely, man, the album and the series, I love it, man. But I actually was able to get a greater understanding of yourself as well, man, by putting all, your experience in group homes. You was putting that on wax, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
also it still was dope. Still was
Yeah,
lyrically dope. You was able to have humor around that joint too, dog.
yeah.
I love everything about that, bro. And one of the tracks, man, I want to talk about is Occupation, right? And Vic, like, I feel like that was kind of like the most vulnerable that I heard you, man. Like, you got real
Hmm.
personal on that joint. You was talking about the job you got fired at from charging, white people $20, dog. You know what I'm saying? You was talking about even, it was like a transition. Your prelude what got you into rapping, what got you
Yeah,
here right now, right?
yeah,
Because you mentioned at 17, you were selling weed, you know what I'm saying, with women and stuff like that, going out, living it up, you know what I'm saying? Then you wasn't thinking about writing raps. Then towards the end of the
Yeah.
song, you could see the transition. You was like, maybe I need to try rapping out, right?
You
Then
know what I'm
after that,
saying?
about you working those odd jobs, and you haven't had to work an odd job like that. When you start getting your foot in the door when it comes to rapping, man. Talk
Yeah.
about that background, that trap, man, because you was going in, bro, just straight, consistently, man, like detailing your story.
Yeah, like it was. I wanted to write the premise. I wanted the premise of that story to be like about when I entered independent living program, and that was when I was 18 years old, 17 years old actually, and I had this job at the movie theater. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I wanted to talk about like how they fired my ass because I made up a lie. You know what I'm saying? I never had addressed it. I never addressed that. Like that was always something that was like in my conscience until I wrapped it out. I was like, man, yo, I never talked about this. I never talked about how I told these people that I was getting shot at. That's why I couldn't come to work. And that lie uh, uh, didn't go in my favor. They was like, well, we don't want no this is safety issue then. You know what I'm saying? So I could have made up a better lie instead of, you know what I'm saying, being outside hanging with the homies. You know what I'm saying? And this was also around the time I was volunteering at this Boys and Girls Club.
Yep.
I was doing taking like shorties to games and doing art and just whatever at this Boys and Girls Club, just keeping them safe out the school. And I found like I was like, I like this. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? I remember when somebody was helping me in this same capacity. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and I still had these odd jobs, and it must have not been for me. But I also knew that I was always rapping, putting stuff on cassettes at that time. Still, wherever I was at, I was recording me a cassette tape. That was a mandatory thing to do, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just take this a little bit more serious, you know what I'm saying? Just a tad bit more serious than what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And then it just took off from there. Once I started putting emphasis in that and putting emphasis in working with the youth too,
Yep.
because I remember at the end of the song, I was like, I had just started doing some volunteer work or something like that. I was like, I ain't even know it was my calling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yep.
I ain't know, so it was like, you know, as long as, as I got the perseverance and will to want to stay in it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna always be occupied in that occupation.
Occupation, man. I like that. I love the title, man. And that's something that you mentioned at the end, like you were saying, like, hold on, is this my calling? The
Yeah,
volunteer
is
work
it?
with you, is this my
Yeah.
calling? Right?
Yeah. After being at this job that I'm at now for 17 years, is it
Yeah,
really my calling? Like,
calling,
you know what
man.
I'm saying?
And if I'm not mistaken, Vic, like you won an award. I think was it like last year, the year before? I think it was something, man. You got they the city showed
The
love to
Brother
you.
Mike Award. Yeah, it was the Brother
Uh,
Mike Award. I was nominated for the
yeah,
award. I ain't
yeah.
win, but
We
yeah,
got
it
we
was
got
a
that's a win. That's a win. In our book being nominated, dog. For
yeah,
real,
to
man.
be recognized, like,
Be
because
recognized,
the,
man.
the young people send in their votes, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that, like, one of the shorties hit me up and was like, hey, man, I voted for you, you know what I'm saying? And
That's
I was like,
dope.
oh, man, that's what's up, man. And then when I got the call to be there, I was like, wow, I thought I was man. I thought I was gonna win, man. I was in there sobbing. I was crying. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? That was one of
Yeah,
those. Yeah, that was a step. But I was happy. You know what I'm saying? Because I
yeah,
was around a lot of people that do the line of work that I do, and represent the shorties and try to make a difference. And just being recognized for that
yeah.
one night. I always think about that. I got the award certificate in my little man cave, the miserable garage. But yeah, but yeah, but I look at that and be like, yeah, man, being recognized for things,
That's
it just
huge, man.
made me but on the flip side of that, um, not winning that award made me realize like maybe I don't want to be recognized for something that that I'm going to do anyway. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm always going. work with the shorties and like at the lowest level, work where they at as much as possible. And just looking at that award just reminded me like, man, well, maybe I don't need to be rewarded for this
Yeah,
because this, if I don't win, then I'm just feel like what I'm saying? It was a real psychological cheat sheet for me. But
yeah, it really was, man.
yeah, I handled it pretty well though. I tried to you know, uh, move past thinking like that because there's a lot of people saying you won, like you said in itself, like
Won,
you
bro.
won,
You
you
won.
won. You know what I'm saying?
You man, and that's huge, man. Because I remember seeing you post about that too on the ground, man. And you mentioned, doing volunteer work as well, man. Like in your previous, albums and songs, and that's really dope, bro. Like that's something that resonate, man. Working with the youth, and not only that, man. My wife, she's got nominated for like awards, kind of similar to that, bro, in Nashville,
Hmm.
right? Called Senior, nominate women that do work in their community. And she like work at a youth shelter. She want to run a youth shelter in Nashville. So she be
Nice.
like the youth shelter, man, and make sure they get placement and stuff like that, man. So she be taking like basically anybody in, man. You know what I'm saying? Who needs a stay? You feel me? And trying to make it to that right path, man. So she was nominated for that award for a award called thing, and she didn't win. But I told her like you won in my book. You know what I'm saying? So and it's something that she loved to
Hmm.
do, man. Because I know in that line of work, Vic, like for you to do that, you have to love it, man. So for you making an impact, man, in the kid's life, man, that speaks volumes, dog. Like for real, man. So major
Yes,
salute to you, man,
appreciate
for
it.
that, bro. So I love that, man. And I love how you talk about your personal moments too in routes, man. Like you be sprinkling that in, dog, like those gems in your personal life, man. But also, like I mentioned, man, still sound fresh, still sound dope, dog. How you could put that in, man. So yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And another trap, man, I want to talk about on psychological cheat sheet, man, is Slump Village. Slump Village, dog. Slump Village. That's my joint, man. I rock with that joint a lot, dog. That beat is hard. I like how the title is, dog. Man, talk about Slump Village, man, on psychological cheat sheet 5, bro.
Man, well, when I picked that beat, I thought I was laughing when I heard that beat. I was like, man, that beat sound funny as hell. That shit sound cold as hell. I'm gonna rap over that shit. Like it was one of those, like, man, I gotta rap over this. And
Mm-hmm.
it was one of those like, uh, how well, if you listen to August for Nine music, like a lot of his beats don't sound the same,
Doesn't.
and that's also Slump Village didn't sound like nothing
It
that I
did.
was that I ever heard like from August for Nine. So to have that, I was like, man, this is it's like the mild sauce on a piece of puff. That's one of my
Yep.
favorite sayings. Like what I'm saying? Slump Village was, and then like attacking different emotions on there, like what I'm saying, and chasing demons and all of that, like just being so confident and and just like standing on business. I look at Slump Village like it's Slump Village is like to mock Slum Village, but it's like you slumped over, like
Oh,
everybody slumped over, lazy. But you know what I'm saying? I attacking everything. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Daily life gonna have me attacking everything. So that's how Slump Village came about. That was
Yeah,
one of
man.
those. One of those hard body joints that I ain't never heard August for Nine produced like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Ooh,
man.
okay."
When I heard Slum Village, I was like, "Oh, hold on, man! I gotta run that joint back, man." And like the bars in there was hidden, dog. The song was dope, man. That's something I wanted to highlight, bro, because that's one of my favorites, man. Another favorite of mine, and I be going back and forth, sending Private Ryan or the one right here, man. Sharp and Noon Chucks, right? Sharp and Noon. That's one of my favorites too, right there, Vic. I love that joint, dog. You mentioned and I do this as well, dog. He said, I'm talking to myself while putting on dope garments, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They see me talking to money and thought I was retarded,
Yo,
talking to myself while I put on dope garments. Yeah, you know what
yo, that's
I'm
real. That's real. My wife be looking at me
saying?
like I'm crazy, dog, sometimes. For real. Like, why you doing? Why you talking to yourself, dog? Why you putting on your clothes or in the mirror or something like that, looking at your kicks like, hey man, I gotta feel confident, you know? So I gotta remind them of who I am, dog. So
Hey, that's great. That's crazy that's looked at like, are you
for real.
crazy? Because yeah, definitely. My wife would say the same thing. Like, what are you like? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, man, all the time, dog. All the time. Love that joint, bro. And I be going back and forth, Vic. Like, damn, which one is my favorite on that album, man? Because there's so many dope joints. But that one right there,
Yeah,
man, I love that joint, dog. That beat is crazy, man.
real
August,
smooth.
yeah, real smooth, man. So I definitely want to transition to your last project that you dropped in 2024, right? Being the bigger person sucks. And I just referenced this album to my homie, right? And we
Hmm.
was talking about this, man. He was like, he was going through a situation, right? He was like, man, I don't want to reach out. I was like, man, I was like, I hate being the bigger person. I was like, bro, just like Vic Spencer albums, being the bigger person sucks, dog. Like, I feel you, it does. I was like, it does, dog. But man, I agree with that title for real, Vic, because it be situations, man, in my life. I'm like, damn, I gotta go ahead, be the bigger man, you know what I'm saying? Make the phone call, do this and stuff like that. But sometimes I really don't want to do that. I want to be like,
Yeah,
fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, man, talk about, man, that album, dog, that title, that joint, the title resonate, but also the cover. I love the cover art, bro. The cover art is fresh. Nowadays, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw that out, man. But going to your last project of the year, man, because you listen to the apes that was left behind is different from psychological cheat sheet 5, right? Two different
Mhm.
projects. So going to this one, man, what was the mindset in making this album?
Man, I had it was one of those like curated by Vic Spencer albums. I wanted to, embark on that. That follows like if George Bush was cool, By Wounds, Duffel of Gems, like all of those albums, Things Change,
Crazy
I
number.
Don't Smile, Kill My Demons, like all of
That's
those
crazy.
songs, like you hear like multiple producers on the track. Those are me curating the album. So this is me indulging and curating the album. You know what I'm saying? Like my mastermind. Like all the albums is all mine. Like my masterminds. But those type of albums, like being a bigger person sucks, is like 100% the mind of Vic Spencer. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like super 100%. And like it's like a template that you be happy to show off to people, and they're gonna be excited, or they're gonna be like, yeah, this is ill. Like I knew that like for some odd reason I knew that being a bigger person sucks was like real special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I started like scheduling like listening parties, and you know what
I
I'm
seen the
saying,
I seen the
doing
video. You did it was video listening party, like a snippet that you post on Instagram. That was
yeah,
dope.
see what I'm saying? So yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, so I knew that it was something special. So it was like, even that album, I was creating that album. It took 3 years to complete that album. That's one of those albums that's just like the H that was left behind. I was just putting like tracks, throwing tracks on there, putting this track. Oh, I like this beat. This going on. Being a bigger person sucks. I already knew the name of the album and stuff like that. So it was like I was just working. I was busy working on multiple things, and then next thing you know, I looked up to Being a Bigger Person Sucks. Had like 12 songs in it. I'm like, oh man, wait a minute, man, I got, you know what I'm saying? And then I just did two more. I think I did. No, I did. That's it. I think it's 12 songs on the album. And I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm gonna start doing post production, and got a few verses from some of my favorite artists, and you know what I'm saying? I just curated it, went crazy
Yeah,
with it. It was, and it also was around the time that I created the album. I was having therapy sessions, and I was talking about like a lot of different things that happened in this industry with me, and different beefs that I encountered. And
yeah,
the therapist was telling me to be the bigger person, you know what I'm saying? And when I tried to be the bigger person, it backfired. So it's like, damn, being a bigger person really does suck. You don't really benefit from it, you know what I'm saying?
it
You know,
sucks. It sucks,
certain
dog.
certain things
Certain
I mean,
times, certain
in your heart, see, if you be the bigger person in your heart, then it's like it might be a better outcome. But me
mm,
having therapy and then try to utilize what he was saying, and it didn't work, like it's just like, yeah, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? All right, man. Being the bigger person sucks.
sucks. Yo, I love that, man. I love that thing, bro. Because, like you mentioned, man, it took you 3 years, but as we talked, before in the past, you was like, yo, I got 4 projects already created, already,
Yeah,
the theme, the title already in stock, right?
yeah.
So that's something that you already, man, had premeditated, already had, lined up as well. So that's dope, man. I love how you have that process going for you. And we
Hmm.
want to talk about the lead single, right? In church with sneakers, man. I
Yeah,
ain't
yes,
I remember this like it was vividly, right? I was at the crib, man. My brother Dre hit me up, Dre McFly. He was on the Instagram live doing the Christmas joint, the end of the year sneakers 2 years ago when we had you on the platform. He was like,
hmm.
man, you heard Vic new song? I was like, nah. He was like, man, I just sent you the joint on Instagram. So I looked it up, man. I seen it. I was like, yo, that beat, dog, man, with that sample in the back, dog, and y'all in the church with the sneakers, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just fly. Man, it went perfect with it, dog. That song was dope. That song so dope, dog. That's probably like my favorite joint on the album, man. And Panamera P, man. Shout out to Panamera P. That was my first time
Yeah.
actually hearing Panamera P, man. So
Mm.
after that song, I actually went back in his catalog. Right. I went back in
Hmm.
his catalog, bro, and listened to everything he had. And I'm gonna talk more about that as well, man, as far as Chicago
Hmm.
hip hop. But talk about that joint, man, because we know how it is when it comes to you and sneakers and being fly, bro. Like that's a joint right there. If you getting fly, you throw that in the whip, dog. So talk about in church with the sneakers, man.
Yeah.
How that came about with you and Panamera P.
And that joint produced by young homie Zilly 900
Shout out
from
to
New
Philly
York, you know
900.
what I'm saying? That's my little homie right there, man. Sent me a banger. Like it's like one of those producers. He sent just one track and it was like, man, I know that's the one. And he was right. He was right. And that actually is the track 7 on the album. So, track 7 is always my favorite song on the album. So, you know what I'm saying? And Panamera P, he's a rapper with a lot of conviction. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? He spits a lot of real grit to the grain raps, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted to utilize his voice and his ability to have catchy rhyme patterns and like a hook format, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But I still wanted him to sound like he was rapping, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it was one of those like, yeah, you know what, Pano, I know you're gonna have that little swangy swing rap so that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make this a catchy ass hook, you know what I'm saying? And he came through and delivered, executed, and the rest is history, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that in church with sneakers, I always thought about like church socks with ill sneakers on, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why I always be thinking of that all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Most guys be wearing them hard bottoms to church. They be wearing sneakers.
Yo, big man. Yo, a crazy story, right? Growing up. When my parents we was going to church right now, they had all of us going to church and stuff. Well, at the time it was just me and my sister. My brothers was like they was in the streets at that time, so it was like what I'm saying. But I was a youngin, right? So the baby of the family. So I was telling my dad, man, I'm like, man, I don't want to wear these, dress shoes, man. I want to wear my sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't wearing no sneakers if you going to church in this house. You know what I'm saying? I had to wear the whole suit, Vic. I'm like 10 and 11. So as I got older, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm stepping in with sneakers, dog. Like that's the dress code. That's how
Hmm.
I step in the church. I got my sneakers on now, dog. My Jordans, my Nike, whatever I'm wearing. So I love
Yeah, yeah.
uh so it resonated with me. I love that joint, bro. And I spoke about Panamera P, man. That was my first time hearing him, man. I went back in his catalog and was listening to his previous music, man. And also it was my first time hearing Rufus Sims before,
Oh yeah, you gonna
bro.
go down the real rabbit hole.
So man,
You
so
gonna
I
go
heard
down the
about
real rabbit hole.
yo, I really did, dog. And my brother was like, yo, man, the same dude, Rufus Sims, they got like a group called the Little People, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Him and this dude named Jay Hayes. I was like,
yeah.
all right, let me check it out. So, when we was talking, he was like, man, check out the trap Magic Johnson. I was like, that's the first track I went to on the Little People album. But
Hmm.
me listening, discovering those other artists, it was from this project, man. And was that
Hmm.
kind of like your goal, Vic? Like to have Chicago hip hop, represented on this album, man?
I definitely kept that in mind. I wanted to, get the influences from the likes of like the legendary Traxton and Buck's Psychodrama on the
Oh
album, all the way to my guys like Panamera P and Rufus Sims and Jay Hayes and all the guys. Like I definitely wanted this to be real Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like I definitely had that in mind making this project. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely like I always try to think about like uh Barcelona type features, you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like features you don't never even see, you ain't see coming. Like it's like the finals, like the
It really,
best teams
yeah,
going at it, you know what I'm saying?
it
That's
really
how I always want to like, cause I know I just be rapping, attacking, rapping. But the main thing about my raps, it be mad detailed, and then the features come through in the clutch, and it just makes it sound different from everything that I'm doing, even though it's the same formula. Everything sounds so different because you know people just see what I'm doing and they respect it and they
is.
want to be a part of it and they adjust. And it's one of those things where you just gotta look at like, oh man, I can't believe that I was able to pull this off. Like how
Yeah,
I was able to get the legendary Traxter who's producing for Beyonce, they selling millions of records right now for him to be rapping or doing anything on a Vic Spencer project. You know what I'm saying? And even with Buck from Psychodrama, like
Buck,
that's the first verse, dude. That's the first voice you hear on Twisters of Drum album. Like that's something that in the cement for him to
yeah.
be rapping the album, it's just like whoa, you know what I'm saying? I'm always gonna rap with the guys. I'm always checking in with the guys on a daily basis. We always sending each other music, encouraging each other. So having the guys that I rap with on a regular basis, you know what I'm saying? I'm always on support of Rufus Sims album or Jay Hayes project or Little People or Panamera P. I'll be, we cooking like them. We cooking on a daily basis. So it's like I'm
I
always gonna do
love that.
music with them.
I love that, man.
Yeah,
And just speaking about, child to little people once again, Coke Raps too, man. I gotta say, being a bigger person, sucking Coke Raps too was like the two albums that was played, the most played albums in my whip, dog. Like towards the end of the year,
that's
especially 2 year as well, bro. That album's really great, man. Like they are so underrated, and just you all as well, man. I was listening to the joint Coke Raps, I'm like, damn. I was like, bro, everyone need to hear this joint, dog. Like it was crazy.
for real.
Everyone needed to hear that joint, but I love how you highlight that, man, because that was my introduction to those cats, man. And even like with Fillmore Green on the Apes
Hmm.
that was left behind as well. I was
Hmm.
started listening to Fillmore Green more. I Am God as well.
Hmm. Yeah.
So all those
Them the
cats,
brothers, you know what I'm saying?
man,
Them the
and
bros. You're gonna expect them to be
yeah,
more and more of my albums,
I
and
love that,
I'm gonna
man.
be on their albums. Like, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We cooking, man. When my boy I Am God say Chicago, never forgot how to rap. Yeah.
Yo, and I love how y'all support one another too, Vic. Like in doing a listening party for that album, being a bigger person sucks. I seen a lot of those
Hmm.
cats in the videos and greatly alleviated that video.
Yeah.
I seen a lot of those cats in there as well, which is
That
one
was
of
my
my
birthday.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could
That was
tell
a
that was
good
your birthday, dog. Yeah,
yeah,
you had
that
to,
was my birthday. So yeah, that was a wonderful time. That was a
that was
yeah, yeah, I'm
crazy,
saying.
man. From bringing all that up with the culture of Chicago hip hop, because people think about Chi-Town, think about drill music now, right? But it's not really that. It's a huge, I would say, man, melting pot of so many amazing artists, right? When you think about it, when the Chi broke through with Twister and Common and Buck, Psychodrama and them cats, man. When Buck when they was signed to Suave House, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time I heard Buck was on the 8 Ball album Lost. And
That's crazy.
that was my first time as a kid. Like, who is this nigga right here, dog? And like, and he was my bro was on Twister hard at the time,
Hmm.
adrenaline rush. It was like this the cat right here. You know what I'm saying? This is him. Like, oh shit. So, but just saying all of that, man. Chicago is one of the best areas when it comes to lyricists. I think Cameron mentioned this like about a couple
Hmm.
months on his show, It Is What It Is. He was like, Chicago got some of the best lyricists, and
Yeah.
he mentioned Twister, and I think
Hmm.
about it, that nigga Cameron remade Adrenaline Rush on Purple Haze. You know what I'm
He
saying? So
did.
like, it makes sense, man. And when you think about those cats, Rufus Sims, yourself, Panamera P, Chris Crack, Fillmore Green, I Am God, Jujilla, who I just got
Yeah.
put on as well. When I heard him on Little People, that man said a crazy line about some New Balances 550s. He in the 550 like that. That was crazy, by the way. But he was saying some great
Yeah.
references on that song, but
Yeah.
on that album. But just that whole subculture in Chicago, man. Like that's really dope, bro. Talk about just that importance of that, man. Just having that, those guys, man. You still got your Lupe's, you still got your Commons who dropped arguably an album of the year with Pete Rock, right? Nominated for a Grammy, man. Like Chicago is in a great state when it comes to hip hop. I think y'all one of the best right now because y'all got so many different other cats doing this particular style of music, this particular style of rap. Like, man, I think right now Shy is definitely got some of the best artists right now, man, rappers, dog, in the game.
Yes, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
We working hard. I just say that everybody is representing each other and respecting each other and mirror reflection. Like as long as everybody's working, we always gonna have that mutual love and respect for one another. And it just makes us all be on the same page and represent what we here for. Like we here
yeah,
to make a statement and it's just not about drill rap. We're gonna respect that, but at the same time, we it ain't about that, and we're gonna put emphasis on that. And that's what this is. That's what the unification is really about. Like what I'm saying, the hard workers coming together and building the big assembly hall. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Hard workers that represent nothing but hard workers. So as long as we putting in that work, what I'm saying, above those 10,000 man hours, man,
yeah.
we gonna be unstoppable.
I
That's
love,
how
I
we
love that.
carrying ourselves now.
I love that, man. I love the style that you all bringing, man. I love that soul that be in the music as well, man. That's something that always stand out is that soul
Yeah.
when it comes to production, man. Another track, right? Collaborate with other two Chicago legends, like you mentioned, Buck of Psychodrama and legendary Trackster, man. Yo, Vic, do you feel like at times you want to tell someone like, "Hey, dog, I will beat your ass," because
Hell yeah.
that song that was you
Hell
all
yeah.
like, hold on, like I
Shit.
will beat your ass, like for real though. I will beat your ass. That's one of my favorites on the album as well, man. So talk about that.
That is crazy because like that song was just me on it by itself at one point.
Mhm.
Like it was just me by myself. And then I was like, man, I should reach out to Buck and see if I got this
Yeah,
baritone flow already. Buck got the baritone flow, and it was like, all right, let's uh let's put this let's put this in play. And then he sent the first back. I said, oh man, this is crazy. And then I at the time I was working closely with Traxter on his album, Chicago Side A and B. I
which is
was
crazy,
working,
by the way. Crazy album.
yeah,
That video y'all
it's
did together
super
was
crazy.
crazy too, dog.
Super crazy, you know what I'm saying? Crazy experience, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, I want you to talk shit on here. I literally wanted him to just say words, talk shit. I didn't know he was gonna rap. So when he sent that shit back, I'm like, what? You really sent it?
Yeah, he surprised
Oh,
me with that.
man.
I was like, hold on, like he rapping, okay, like
And they both adopted my like again, like the first I'm on the track though, by myself. That's why my verse the longest. And I remember at the end of my verse, I said, "Man, I will beat your ass."
yeah,
Like they adopted that. Like
that's
just
all.
again, like to have legends like
That's
adopting
crazy.
stuff that I say, like and Buck from I'm having visions of a rhythm collision. Like, man, that's all though. Like, man, a legend like Buck
Legend. Bucket.
repeating the bars that I wrote and incorporating in his like I just looked at it differently. I look at it like, wow, like I'm really inspiring and showing and proving with the legends. Like I stand right next to the legends
Yeah, that's
and
huge,
full
man.
fold confidence, man. So it's just a beautiful milestone. Like just that's why I feel great about the album. Like so many things is going on, and so many great things is going on. Like the music is good, the rapping is good, the features is good. Like you ain't got no choice but to be like, "Man, this is good." You know what I'm saying?
Good, dog. It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
So
man.
it's the man that what is it called? Raggedy, deluxe raggedy duffel.
Yeah, Deluxe Raggedy Dog.
Raggedy Lux duffel. Raggedy Lux is it was a brand that was created by a producer and a feature on the album, Black Spade.
Damn, I ain't
Black
know.
Spade had this brand called Lux Raggedy. You know what I'm saying? And he would take like garments that was expensive and make it look raggedy. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll put different layers on things and it looked like it came from luxury, but it's old raggedy. Like he made me a bag that had, I don't know, he sold it was nylon blue bag and he sewn polka dots and camouflage on each side. So he made it look like it was a raggedy bag, but he made it look luxury by doing that. Then I took the bag and I put all my V patches from my old brand that was called Victimized, and I made a duffel bag, and that's what that bag create was named after. That song was named after that bag.
Okay, damn, dog. I didn't even know that, man. So I didn't know that
Yeah,
whole connection. Chicago once again, right there, dog. So
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
dope as hell, dog. That's dope how that all came about, man, and how you know I beat your ass. Came about from your
You know what
first
I'm
verse.
saying?
So I love that, dog, man. That's really dope, man. Because Buck is a legend. Legendary Trackster is a legend, man. Those two guys right there, man, to be on the album just a stamp, man.
Hell
So
yeah.
and before we end it, right, Vic, I gotta ask you, right, what's some of your favorite sneakers, man, that's currently out right now? Your favorite joints that's out right now.
Man, the Bike Airs. I like the Bike Airs Jordan
Hey,
4s,
hey, the Nigel Sylvester joints, man.
brick by brick.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? I like those a lot.
I like
You know
those.
what I'm saying? I like
Yeah.
those a lot. Yeah.
Yo, you got those? So hold on, Vic, dog. Yo, shout out to my man Joe Rilla. Shout out to Chris. Yo, man, you gotta show those. You gotta show those joints, man. One of my homies, she got a pair, man. Shout out to Mo, to my homie Mo, man. She got a pair. Mo Rich. I was like, she was surprised she actually got a joint. She got a pair. But she gonna be crazy in those joints, man. So Vic, do you feel like that's your sneaker of the year so far? Because that's my sneaker of the year so far, right now.
Yeah, it's definitely my sneaker of the year so far.
Damn,
You
how
know
his
what I'm saying?
packaging though? How his package is crazy like a damn brick
The
in the way.
packaging, yeah, the packaging, yeah, I gotta do all the. You said now you gotta see him. I'm like, oh damn, I ain't what the
Oh, I
I
know,
gotta.
I know. I was surprised. I was like,
I be putting it back. I be putting it back in the box. I ain't warm yet, so I'll be putting them back in the wrapper. Back in how it came. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta take them out, but yeah, I'm gonna wear them for my daughter B day this
oh
weekend.
man,
You know what
oh,
I'm
that's crazy. Sneaker of the year. Sneaker of the year.
saying?
The
Okay.
yo, and not only that,
Mm.
he got the. I love the theme of it too, dog. He had Murder Mook, had Loaded Lux doing the release.
Mm-hmm.
Like the yo man, Nigel, yeah man, he killed it. He killed it. His storytelling is dope. I gotta give it up to Nigel, man, on that man. Jordan Brand hit a home run with that joint for real.
Yeah, he snapped. Like
He
there's
snapped.
the
He snapped.
storytelling and the colorway. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. Yeah, that's why it's the sneaker of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Sneak
It's a
of the year, though.
solid color. You know what I'm saying? It's
Sneak
pop.
of the year.
Look red one time, then it look orange another time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Perfect. And it's perfect time.
man.
Spring and summertime too, Vic. It
Oh man.
and I
Woo.
think about too, that's it's made for Chicago. That red, orange, that's like Chicago colors when you think about it, though. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
for real, for real.
Hey, it really
Yeah.
is. So That's one of the sneakers of the year, man.
Uh,
I love
uh,
I love J Tip's joint. I love Joe Fresh Goods. Yo, the joints
mm-hmm,
with New Balance. I know Jay was wearing them. So
mm-hmm,
man, I got that joint. I got the Joe Fresh Goods, J Tips. They all like my top three. Interchangeable. But all them dudes, yo, man, it's a lot of dope joints. The Cool Grey Dimes drop. You know what I'm saying? The retros and stuff like
mm-hmm.
that. The fives. The fives went
The SB4s,
the SB. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
blue ones. I got those too.
Those crazy.
The SB4s. I like the Union Jordan ones.
Yeah, the Union ones.
There was
Man,
the Chicago and the Shadow mix. Then
shit.
I like the Jordan bands, the band Jordan ones.
And ones, yeah, dog. The band of ones.
Yeah.
The band of ones. That's a classic one right there, dog. The band of ones. Yo, man. It's a lot of dope joints that's been dropping though. This year's is crazy. This year is crazy.
Hmm.
Like it really is, man.
Yeah. This year is definitely one of those. Man, I gotta get my weight up or I gotta save up, man. Cause I can't keep up with all this shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Mama Near Jordan threes that just dropped, you
Threes
know what I'm
just drop.
saying?
I even like the Lucky Shorts threes, man. The white and blue joints. They clean
Mm-hmm.
too. I like those, man. Then I seen like the Nike Air Max up tempo drop. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, up tempos did drop.
the up
The
tempos, man.
Deion Sanders
Yeah, yeah,
Diamond Turf
you
drop.
right, the Diamond Terps. And you had those on Vic in the freestyle fits. If I'm not mistaken, you
Ooh,
had the
yeah.
Diamond Terps on, right? I had to think about it. Like you
Yep.
had the Diamond Terps on with the freestyle
Had the
fits.
Diamond Turfs on. And uh I think what other shoes I get? I like these too. I like these bike airs. Last year's sneaker of the year. The
Oh
green
yeah, the
RPM.
green
You
ones.
know what I'm saying? Yeah. What do they call? I call them RPM. They RM. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah. You know
that
what I'm saying?
that shoe
Yeah.
smell, dog. Hey, dog, yo, man. I know he won the award at Nice Kids for like the best collaboration sneaker, I believe. I think it was the best storytelling or best collaborations, one of the two. But the storytelling was dope once again with that. That color is crazy. The quality is crazy on those joints too, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love those joints a lot. Um, I mean, hey man, hey, but those two joints that you just showed though, Vic. I mean, those like a brick itself.
You know what I'm saying?
No, for real, Vic. Those are brick itself, dog. Just those two alone. You know what I'm saying? Oh
I
man,
got these, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Union ones, man.
Union ones, you feel
The
me?
Union ones, man. Yo, man, the Ewings, dog. Hey, man, they don't know. They've been dropping crazy collaborations too, man.
Then I got the
Yes,
bands, you know what I'm saying? I need more of these yet, you know what I'm
yo,
saying? Been
yo,
holding on to these for dear life. I
Vic,
don't even know why.
yo, those joints you could wear in all seasons. It don't matter
Yeah,
what
I
the
don't know why.
season is.
I don't know why I'm holding on to these for. I'm supposed to been wore these. I'm tripping.
But you know what, Vic? That's like a sentimental sneaker right there, dog. That helped took the brand off, and knowing that Shot Town, the band, man, dog, yo, man. I mean,
Yeah,
you
the
already
shape
know.
is
You know.
crazy.
Yeah, the shape is dog. The quality though, man,
Yeah,
that might be
yeah.
the best version of those released for real when it comes to the quality and stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm. It's stiff leather.
Oh,
Going crazy. And then that's the fourth shoe I showed. The
yeah,
last but not least, last but not least, SB4s. You know what I'm
SB
saying?
fours, dog. The SB fours.
Names.
And Vic, if I'm not mistaken, you had the SB fours. You had the white and was it the white and green joints, the pine green? No, the
Pine
pine
Green.
greens. You had the pine greens joints. You had it with the Bulls outfit from Leaders, if I'm not mistaken. I remember
Yeah,
that. I remember
yeah,
seeing that. I was like, nigga, like
yeah. That outfit was raw. That was a raw
that,
outfit
that was
right there.
that
You know
was
what
that
I'm saying?
was that was a legendary outfit, man. But the SB4s, Vic, I mean, dog, that sneaker is beautiful, dog. Like for real, man.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. This
they
definitely
gold with
one of
that.
them ones.
Yeah, that's
They
one of them.
going to overkill to 2025. They going crazy right now.
Yeah,
Like
they going crazy.
I don't know what Nike on with everybody trying to get everybody money. They said forget y'all rent and forget y'all pockets and we gonna take all of it in 2025. So I
Yeah,
said
that's how I feel.
I ain't I ain't gonna cop everything. I'm gonna cop what I can and leave it at that. But you know what I'm saying? I'm good to be able to cop those and be able to fall back. I don't think I need nothing else but the rare Air Force, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, I need those. I need those too. I need those
And
too.
that's it. I think I'll be all right. You know what I'm
Did
saying?
you did you
It's a
did you
lot
get
of
the threes? Did you get the black and cement threes? I passed on them, Vic, because I already got a couple pair already. So I got two pair. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? I because I did hear, not I did hear, I think those the best version of those that's been released too. Because I was looking at my joints, right? The ones that dropped a couple years ago, forgot which year, but the ones with Nike Air on it, right? I like the
yeah.
I like those better. So I might still get those joints just off a
Yeah,
resale.
I sold the other pair because they were yellowing on the white and from from the year that you're talking about a few
Yeah.
years ago. I sold those because I got the new version. Yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, you know, I like the new version too. They bend up because the quality crazy, but you know what I'm saying? I like those better for sure. The
Yeah, man.
shape, I like the shape
Shape,
better.
the shape, dog. Yeah, the shape is crazy with it, man. Um, like I said, I was like, yeah, because my homie, man, he got a pair, and I was like, damn, shit, maybe I should have got a, you know what I'm saying? I, I was looking like Ace Boogie, man, when he seen Mitch pulled up in the wheel, like, damn, man, hey, you shot.
Yeah.
Like, I might have to get those on the resale market though, but I ain't tripping because that's my favorite sneaker, anyways, man. So, yeah, man, it's a lot of dope joints, Vic. And I always say this, Vic, like when it comes to like the flies guys that's out, man, like I always mention you when it comes to like rappers, man. The flies rappers always mention you though. Like you got a sense of style, bro, that's like no other, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's fly, it's fresh. You know what I'm saying? Like you got cats that be doing too much. Like, but you, man, you always keep it original, always keep it fly, man, with the hats, with the shorts, the hoop shorts you'll rock, man. Like just everything that you put together, dog. So I think, like I always mention, they be asking, like, hey man, what's some of the cats that the episodes you did that got the illest collection? I always say, yo, Vic is up there. If not number one, Vic is up there. You know what I'm saying? And not only that with the collection, but just with the garments, what you put on as well, bro. And I feel like you bring that to life in your music as well, dog. So I just want to give you those flowers, Vic, man, because you one of the best cats in the booth, but also when it comes to being fly. And we see that now, right now, like that's a huge emphasis in the game, being fly. And cats wasn't looking at it like that. You know, you had
Yeah,
the grand poop was the forefathers and stuff, tribe and stuff
yeah,
like that. But now with you, West Side, a lot of cats like that roam streets. Who's actually is putting at the forefront. I know I was talking to Rome. He was like, nigga, the artists I listen to, they had to be fresh, you know what I'm saying? Like Ghost and Ray and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just
mhm,
cats like that, man. So I definitely want to shout you out when it comes to that, Vit, man, because you a legend itself
yeah,
when it comes to that
yeah.
too, man. So got to give you your flowers, dog, and always thank you, man, for coming on the show, man. Before we go though, Vic, right? I noticed something that you've been teasing, man. You and this other artist who is legendary as well, man. Not only in Chicago, but he's legendary worldwide. Twister, right? I know you say you've been picking the beats out and stuff like that. So I was just had to ask: is that joint dropping? Is it dropping this year as well, man? The
Man, I can't make no promises,
all right,
but you
cool.
know, it's you know what I'm saying. It's definitely been talked about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, and hopefully I can bring it to life, you know what I'm saying? To be able to curate something like this is gonna be monumental.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't be saying it if it wasn't true. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely trying to live it out to see that happen. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
for
definitely
sure.
want that for me and all the Vic Spencer fans. Like we need that. Like that's something that we
Yeah, we
need.
need that.
Like,
We need that, man. You and Twister, because I remember y'all did a track together on Ballrooms, man, which was like
yeah,
crazy, dog. That was crazy, man. Like just to see you and Twister, man, rapping, dog, and over that crazy beat. That beat was ill, dog. So yeah, man, I can't wait for that. No Twister mentioned like you was one of his favorites artists, man. So that's huge. That's dope to hear that from a legend himself, Twister, man. So
absolutely.
yeah, man, definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Everyone tap in with my man Vic Spencer. Like I mentioned, man, the albums that he dropped recently, being the bigger person.
And I
So
and I also dropped an album in the beginning of the year with original super legend called Be Double Clip Tight. That was in
yeah,
January.
January,
So
right? Top of
yeah.
the year. Yeah, top of the year.
I dropped four last year.
Four,
Yeah.
four last year. So keep it four last year. So that's my bad for leaving that off for last year,
Yeah.
dog.
I
So
wanted to make sure I add that
yeah,
in. You know what
add
I'm
that,
saying?
add
It's
that
all
in.
good, you know?
Gotta add that one in too, man, because hey man, like you always be dropping consistent projects, but the volume is high, but it's dope projects. Like that's what I
Yeah.
love about it. That's hard to do. Like I feel like it's you and Bodie. Like y'all mastered that trait, man. Like when it comes to dropping consistent projects, but that's dope. Like that's hard to do. It's cats that did it. It wasn't dope. So I love
Yeah.
what you're doing with that, man. Cause it's like you make it look so easy, bro. But it's not easy. So that's what these
Yeah.
cats don't know, man. It takes a high level of skill, man. So looking forward to your new projects that you got coming out, Vic, man. Thank you once again, bro. You know, you always welcome on the platform, bro. What you doing, man? Like I mentioned, you one of the illest cats, man, that's been doing it for this quite some time. I was telling people, man, when I first heard you on First Aid Kit, I was a fan since then, bro. So I love your style, bro, and what you do in the community, man. Salute to you, Vic, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. I'm always gonna come through. You know what I'm
Yeah, man.
saying? It's the kicks, baby. You already
Salute to
know.
Kicks, man. When we first episode of the year, man. Everyone take care. Love and live life. Peace.